Hello everyone, it's James Martin back to you with a brand new video. We've often talked on this channel about free script softwares, but never have we actually talked about how to break down a script. So what does it mean when you break down a script? Breaking down a script is basically what it sounds like. You're taking your script and you're breaking it down to understand all the individual elements within that script. So we're talking about the cast, locations, what props you're going to need, any effects you're going to be using, what type of locations. All these things is stuff that you need to know before you even begin on trying to figure out how to make the movie. Because if you don't know what it is that you need, then there's not really a direction you're going to go. So it's important that when you write down your script, once it's done, you need to understand, well, what's involved. How many cast members do we need? How many locations do we need? What do those look like? And that way, it's basically just a very simple checklist as to, okay, we get this, we get this, we get this, we get this, we get this. Now, normally when you break down, you'd have to do it manually. So you might take a bunch of highlighters, go through your script, and identify the individual elements, and then maybe set aside a list. Normally you'd have to do that manually. Something else that you have to do when you do your breakdown is you have to create your schedule, of course. You have to figure out when are you shooting what scenes and when, and figure out what's the best way to go about this. Because you're going to probably want to shoot as many scenes at one location as possible so you don't have to keep jumping back and forth. You want to identify what scenes are shot in the morning or at sunset or can be shot at any time during the day so that you can plan accordingly. Again, this is stuff that you'd have to do automatically. FILMUSTAGE basically reached out to me and they told me about this really cool software, which is an AI program that automatically breaks down your script and basically gets a head start on that one big job. Today, we're going to go through the software and talk about what it does and how you go about it. And before we start, I do want to give a really big thank you to FILMUSTAGE for sponsoring this video. There will be a link in the description for you to check it out, as well as a coupon code so you can get a discount code off a subscription. So right now we're basically at the home page. So already I have a couple projects going on, including an example that they provided, which is the script to Forrest Gump. Great movie. And basically this is to give you an example as to what to expect. If you want to start your own project, all you have to do is create project and then basically enter in the script. The next thing they're going to ask you is, do you want to change the title of the project? Do you want to include like a poster or a logo or something like that? You don't have to, but that's your option. So all you have to do is upload your script and the AI just takes it from there. So the next thing you're going to see is basically a screen like this. So on your right hand side, it's basically going to summarize all the different scenes and color code them. And then there's the individual breakdown right here. And this is done automatically. So if we go through, we can see a feather floats. Well, a feather has been identified as props, and we know this because it's in our prop category. If we go to street, this is identified as a location, which we can associate with location. So all these highlighted words basically are associated with some sort of breakdown. So that's why, as you can see, we have a script and it's covered in all sorts of colored words. These can be associated to these different categories. So what's really, really nice is there isn't one specific way as to how you can go about the breakdown. There's multiple different ways that you can look at it. So one, if you want to look at the script itself and see all the colored words and basically just highlight one particular word, you can definitely see what the different category is. If we go over here, it shows us under scene 1 as the example. It shows us all the different categories and how many elements of that category is in this scene. So I can already tell that there's going to be 5 cast members in this scene, including a man, Forrest Gump, there's Forrest, there's a black woman, and there's a nurse. If I go under extras, we have people, man, props, etc., etc. So this is what I can do if I want to automatically understand what's exactly in the scene. So I could go to costume. I can immediately see, okay, we have 5 costume pieces or costumes entirely that we need for this scene. I understand that under location, we need 3 different locations. Even if you go and you click on a particular element and you wonder, okay, well, where is this book item Well, it automatically highlights it for you. That way you don't have to scan through the entire script. It just points out to you right then, right there, what is it that you need. Something that you might have noticed, especially if you go under location. So as I said, the script is going to automatically break down the stuff for you. Now, that being said, what I've noticed whenever I've uploaded my script, if I'm to be honest, sometimes, and I mean, this is the AI, so it's going to try and figure out the best of its abilities, what fits into what categories. Sometimes things either get missed or it's incorrectly categorized, and that's fine. We can fix that manually. So I'm actually going to leave this script and I'm going to go into one of my own. So this is a story that I'm trying to write right now. I've already put this through the AI and it did its own breakdown, and I even went ahead and I added a different category. So I added a manual category under language. And under language, you can see these different words that are meant to be in essentially a conlang, so I can easily identify what's going to be under that conlang. So if I were to go to, say, the next scene, again, same thing. So we have the different colored words that are identified: cast, we have sound effects, we have effects. Let's say it missed something and I wanted to add it. Okay, so let's say I go to the bottom here and we have foggy and hard to see through, or just foggy. So I want to keep that in mind for essentially the visual effects. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight this word, and automatically it's going to ask me what tag I want to associate it with. Is it a cast? Is it language, extras, props, locations? Is it a stunt, animal? Is it a camera move? Is it a visual effects? Is there nudity? I can even add my own category if I wanted to, right? Just a simple category name and choose the different color. Now I don't need to do that, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this word again. Foggy is actually going to go under visual effects. Automatically that category just got added, and I'm only adding in foggy only because I know that this is going to be a visual effects later on. And yes, I'm fully aware I do have spelling mistakes, don't at me. So we're going to continue and we're going to go to the next scene and we're going to try and find other scenes. So we've already identified one of our cast members, which is great. She finds herself in open water. I'm going to highlight open water once again, and we're going to add this to location. Foggy. I'm going to add that to visual effects, and dark. After a moment, returns to the surface to catch. So I'm going to add surface to location, same idea. I just passed it. There we are. Locations, a lot of dark clouds. So right here is identified as a visual effects. I'm actually going to remove this tag by doing that, by clicking on the delete can, and then I'm going to identify this as a visual effect. There we go. Now you can click on the trash can to delete the tag, or simply just select a different tag. So I'm going to select visual effects, and it removes that as an effect and just adds it as a visual effects. Something you have to be careful of is when the script does do your breakdown. Sometimes if you have a watermark on your script, it will just assume that it's a part of the script. So just be aware of that if you have scripts that have watermarks. But really, if you just want to avoid this, just export your script without a watermark if you can, and then you won't have this issue. So we have montage. This is going to be an editing thing. So I'm now going to come up here. I'm going to add a new category. And let's give that maybe a very bright blue. Create new category. Simple as that. We just added a brand new category under montage. You also may have noticed too that it automatically breaks down how long your script is. If you're not sure about what this all means, then don't worry about it. But essentially this is a way of measuring how long your script is as a way to help break it down. But again, if you don't know what this is, don't worry about it. There's no right or wrong way to categorize this. It's just what's going to work best for you. So I've already come across a very important detail. So I don't specifically mention it in the description here, but my characters actually start on the surface of the water and then submerge and go underwater and then end up at the entrance of a cave. I don't specifically mention that they're on the surface and that they go underwater. I just mentioned they submerge or something. So I can't add that as category. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go over to my right. under nodes, and I'm just going to mention that they start on the surface. Then submerge and go underwater. And then I go to the front of the cave. I've noticed that it's good that sometimes you just want to go to this list and click on a particular tag that you think shouldn't really be here, just so we can kind of clean that up and we're not worrying about sort of more than one thing when those two things are actually the same thing. Once again, they are eating, but it's not, I don't really specify that they're eating food. It's just kind of, you assume that they're eating food, but I'm just going to write down that Naira and Oro are eating some food. Alright, so now that we're done going through essentially the entire script and just updating the breakdown, now we can start looking at other things. So, you might notice above the script there are three options: script, breakdown, scheduling. So what this means is, now that we've gone through the script and made sure that everything's been updated with the proper tags, etc., if we go to the breakdown, what the software does is it puts together this document which has already made all the individual categories for each scene, includes the individual elements for that scene, as well as the page count. Again, as we mentioned before, it gives the title from the scene, so we know exactly what that scene is and what it entails. But this is a document already good to go. Breakdown summary, project, created on how many scenes, and then of course there's logo. If you get the paid version, then you don't get the logo. But already it just gave you this whole document that you can start presenting to your art director, your production designer, all the members of your crew member that need this. And it's as simple as just export, save to a PDF, or you can print it. But already it's very, very simple, and I'm glad that it automatically puts this as a document. So within a matter of minutes, we are able to break down the script into its individual elements and get a document already good to go. This is a huge lifesaver. And then if we go to scheduling, it automatically creates our little schedule. Now, this isn't exactly the schedule to help you like figure out like, okay, we're going to shoot this on Saturday, we're going to do this on Monday, etc. But what it does is it helps you organize how you want to go about shooting. So again, we go to the pages that shows how big the individual scenes are. So I know that scene 1 is going to be pretty long. It's 1 5/8 of a page. There's this one, which is 1 3/8 of a page, and that's scene 5. The final scene is 1 page and 5/8 as well. So I automatically know that those scenes are going to be the longest. And this scene, scene 4, which is 1/8, is going to be the shortest and the simplest to shoot. Already, I can give an estimated amount of time that I think I'm going to need to break this down or to shoot the scene. So this is where you might want to have a talk with your team and just figure out, okay, like how long this is going to take. Do we need a couple hours? Do we need a day? Do we need several days? You can assign the location that you're going to shoot. So I might have this scene, interior cave. This might be on an actual location. So what you're going to just want to do is go to assign location, add new location. You're going to write down what the name of the location in the story is called, and then you can just write down what the actual shooting location is. If you click on it, it will pop up with different options. So if you're trying to write, say, a specific city, then it'll automatically include what that city is. So it just kind of helps save a little bit of time. So this is important so that you can categorize based on where you want to shoot. Are you shooting at the same place or at different places? So it kind of helps with that. And then you have these different options, which helps you basically just categorize. So you can add daybreak, or you can move to the boneyard. The boneyard is essentially, you can just move scenes to here that you think you're probably not going to be shooting, or it can be set later. So if you're going to do it in reshoots or pickups, etc. And then all you have to do is just export as a PDF, and boom, you already have your schedule breakdown. Now, just a final couple things. They do have a chat option if you want to chat with them and ask them questions. They will give you a tutorial, which makes it very easy. The final thing I want to show you are the subscriptions. So I can go to the subscriptions. They have, of course, monthly and yearly plans. Of course, if you go to yearly, it's a lot cheaper. Basically, the difference with getting it for free, so you can access FilmUstage for free, but in the free version, you can upload a couple, I can't remember exactly how many scripts you can upload, how many different projects, but you only get to upload 10 individual scenes. So it's great if you want to use them for a few short films. If you want to do, say, a feature film or a TV show, then you got to get the paid plan. If you go into the subscription, then you can upload up to 3 projects a month. You get unlimited, number of scenes in that script, and you get all the things that we just talked about without any limitations. You could get the studio plan, and basically the biggest difference is you can break down the summary and export it to MMS, which is a more industrial software for breakdown and scheduling. Again, you don't have to worry about that, and then you can remove the logo, the FilmUstage logo, from the documents, especially if you're representing a company. Now, when you look into purchasing a subscription, please use my coupon code. It's here on the screen. And of course, the link to FilmUstage is down in the description below. If you have any questions, let them know. And of course, comment down below what you have questions for. But this, guys, I wanted to show you as one of the best free script breakdown softwares out there. Yes, I understand that there's limitations, but that's what you can expect when you do anything for free. But the fact that you can still access all of this for free, especially for your short films, is fantastic. So again, I want to give a huge thanks to FilmUstage for sponsoring today's video. Again, please utilize my coupon code so you can get a discount off a monthly or yearly subscription, and please check this out for yourself. So if this video brought you any value, please make sure to like the video and subscribe for more weekly videos. Good luck to you guys, and I will see you next time.